You genuinely need to stop believing that love is what makes a relationship last or stay forever. You have genuinely got to stop believing that love is what basically keeps two people together forever and somehow happy. Love is nothing. Love is nothing. You should forget about love if you don't have something that's way more important than love. It's so much higher and people disregard it so much. And it's not that I even feel like that's the reason why people break up all the time or they don't stay together anymore. No, I know for a fact that they don't have something that is over just love, because love is something that is not sustainable at all. It's just a feeling that can go up and down throughout time, all right? It doesn't stay static. But if you were to have this, that, and put that over love, not only will it generally have your relationship to stay longer together and also have a more secure and happy relationship and have that happy ever ending. And people seem to disregard it all the time because they don't put it as high as love. They only see one prospect of it. They don't see that other thing has so many different angles to it, so many different meanings, so many different securities that would be present in the relationship. I'm going to say it again. Love is bullshit. Love is a fairy tale. Love is something that comes and goes. Love is something that is not secure, and it's not the most important. But what is over that, what is over love, is loyalty. It's loyalty. Loyalty is way above love, and people disregard it because what most people tend to think is one small prospect. As I said, it's just when they hear loyalty, they hear, oh, it's just being faithful to my partner and not cheating on my partner. That's what most people think, and that's why they don't seem to put loyalty above love. But no, as I said, there's so many different prospects and so many different reasons for why loyalty is such more important, because you don't think deep enough. You don't create a structure and really think about it of what does loyalty stand for? What is loyalty? How are there so many different types of loyalties, and why is it so much more important than love? And I'm going to give you a few examples for why loyalty is so much more important than love. Number one, we already know the obvious, the well-known definition of loyalty, which is being faithful to your partner and basically not cheating on your partner in any type of way. Obviously, you're just scratching the surface of it. It's so much deeper. And here are the few examples. Number one, I'm going to give you an example and I'll show you what these types of loyalties stand for. Say, for example, you're with a group of people. It may be your friends, it may be some random people that know your partner. And they're saying a lot of horrible things about your partner. Or they're coming to the point where they're saying things that could be lies. You understand? Where your loyalty is tested is an aspect that you have your boyfriend or your girlfriend or your husband or your wife's back, even when everyone is saying those things. And you don't allow anyone to talk bad upon your partner. You don't let them throw dirt on their name, talk behind their back, or even in front of it. Especially your loyalty is tested behind their backs. Loyalty in general, behind their backs, that's when you're tested. You don't allow people to put dirt on your partner's name, and you defend them at all costs, no matter the situation, whether it's verbally, physically. But for a woman, I feel though that it shouldn't be the case where a woman should protect her man when it comes to a violent occurrence and whatnot. But verbally in general, when there's a heated moment of just verbal, and then there's accusations and just people putting down their partner, I feel like by both genders, you should honor and defend your partner's name and them as a person. And that's what is being basically having their back. Understand? And that's a very small minimum, because a lot of people will go through that. There could be more extreme things that you basically defend your partner. That's loyalty. Having that loyalty is basically defending your partner. Now, another type of loyalty is, say, for example, God forbid, one of you guys are in a bad situation with maybe health, maybe finance, maybe anything that can affect you guys in the relationship. See, that's when it comes to, does that person hold you down no matter what the circumstances, whether it's bad or good? will that person always be there for you when things get rough? Just like how they will be there for you when you're doing great, but will they be there when things go rough? Will they hold it down for you? Say, for example, the man, he becomes a little bit financially less, he makes less money. He comes to a point where he was making a lot of money with this girl, right? And then for some reason, he financially declines, but he's still able to take care of his partner. But the lifestyle that he was giving her, he's not able to give that to her anymore. Does she decide to just leave that man, even though they have a lot of history together? This man's not a bum or anything. So I'm not saying that, oh, he doesn't have any money, he can't provide for me or anything, so why am I going to stay with him? No, he can provide for you. I'm not saying that he's completely broke. That's where loyalty also comes in. If they're broke, but you have trust and you have hope in this man that he'll one day put you guys back over there. But in general, let's just say he's just less fortunate financially and he's not able to give you the lifestyle that you've had at one point. Now it's up to you, and your loyalty stays. Where will you stick by him no matter what, even though he's struggling and stuff like that? Do you hold it down? That's loyalty. All right? That shows that person will have your back no matter what when things get rough. As I said, is that your ride or die? Is that your Bonnie or Clyde? And again, there could be more extreme scenarios, but these are just examples I'm just giving you just in general. You can think of so many examples because there's so many examples that you'll be put into the test of holding it down and being real and all that stuff. And the third one, it's like loyalty. Another one stands that, does your partner make sacrifices for you? And again, I know I keep repeating it, but I'm just trying to get it into your head that there could be very small things that usually happens in relationships, and there's things that are a lot more extreme that may not rarely happen in a relationship, but those things happen in general. Let's just say making the sacrifice of anything. Your partner is taking a risk in life and he's trying to get himself up, and you love this person. But if you have true loyalty, you would stick around. So let's just say your partner is grinding to become something, right? You've been with this person and you're making the sacrifice, right? But he has to make some drawbacks where he has to focus on himself. He has to focus on what he's doing to try to make himself better in life, and which will obviously in the end will benefit you. But so basically, there's a lot of things in the relationship that would change. His time with you, the money you guys spend to go out and, have fun and everything. Life will seem like it's just super hard, depressing and boring and all that stuff. Are you willing to sacrifice the time and have that loyalty to make that sacrifice? And again, as I said, there's so many different scenarios that can play with sacrifice. May it be leaving something that was bad for your partner. You did a sacrifice right there. What I'm trying to get at is, even though with all these things, all these types of loyalties, they all come down to, it defines that person. It defines that person. It basically tells you who that person is. Oh, that person makes sacrifices. That means that person will go out of the way to make sure everything is good, even if it affects them and whatnot, right? And they fast forward, this is something I can just think right on top of my head. That means the girl will make sacrifices as a mother. That'll be a good mother, because a good mother makes sacrifices for their children. So you can see it basically, it foretells the future that, oh, this person seems that would be a good person, because no matter how hard things get, they will always do the right thing. So it's like that. And then, oh, this person will hold my back no matter what. That means, even when I'm in the worst, this person will have my back. No one can get in her ear or his ear and basically make that person change their mind and have a different perspective of their partner or whatnot. And they don't allow people to talk it within their ear and get to them. And then you have with holding it down, like that girl or that guy, he held it down for me even when I was at my worst. And it just shows that we can go through anything, all that stuff. But what does that basically do? That basically foretells what someone is, who someone is basically. And with those traits, it makes the other person in the relationship feel secure in the relationship, feel a lot more at ease, and not walk on eggshells, and honestly be real in the relationship. And it brings them one another closer, and it makes them fall in love even harder and have more respect for one another. That's why I say that love is bullshit, because love is just one thing. It's just a feeling. Versus if you were to have loyalty, with having all those types of loyalties creates a domino effect, which then, as I said, will make that person love you, make that person respect you, make that person be closer to you, make that person be able to see a trustful person, creates a good structure in the relationship, the fundamentals of how a relationship for it to work. So now I told you all the reasons why, not all the reasons, there's so much more reasons why loyalty is so much more important, but I don't want to make this video too long. Now let's get to love, right? You can brainstorm and maybe even figure out things I probably didn't even mention at all about loyalty and whatnot. But now getting into love. Do you understand what love? It's just a feeling. Love is not something that is, as I said in the beginning of the video, it's not something that stays stagnant at all. It can change, especially for a female, because females, they go throughout their whole lives through their emotions and how they feel. So one day she can love you to the max, but then hate you the very next day. It doesn't stay the same. And now that you have to walk on eggshells because you have to make sure what that girl fell in love with you for, you have to make sure you maintain it, because you don't have that loyalty structured where it's okay, if I'm at my worst or if something happens, she'll still be there for me. Obviously, you don't take advantage of somebody and whatnot. You don't know what happens in life, and things can happen without your control and all that stuff. So let's just say she fell in love with you for what you can provide, right? She fell in love with that. It was a feeling of, she felt this, ooh, and she felt secure on the fact that you can, right? So it's these feelings that was created. That's where it got to where now she loves you. Say you lose that. How exactly is she gonna stay in love with you? She's in love with that, with the man that was over here. That's who she fell in love with. So if you become this, and because she doesn't have any loyalty to this person down here, how is she ever gonna love you? She's gonna leave you. But when you have loyalty, that person would stay with you no matter what and will still love you regardless of the situation. And that's what you need to realize, that love comes with a lot of precaution. Love is like a gamble, all right? Because at the same time, with love, you can do all these things and that person truly doesn't love you, even at all the things that you do, and still take advantage of you. Obviously, she doesn't have any type of loyalty, not even the main fundamental that everyone knows of, which is staying loyal. It's just telling you on the fact that love, you can't love someone at the peak that you, at one point that you have. It will never stay that same way. You got to understand that you're going to be one day for the next 1, 2, 3 years that you might stay down here, and then it will go right back up maybe. But again, you're taking a risk of it just ending because there's no structure. You need to understand that you have to have, for love to work, as I said, you need to have, even though loyalty is at top. So when you build a house, your main focus and priority is to make sure that the structure of the building is secure. It's not gonna fall. So take loyalty as the structure of the house. If any of those loyalties are broken, the house will fall. Pretend your home is your love. That love, that home will fall, it will crumble because the structure was not strong enough. You need to understand that. Loyalty is like pillars, it's pillars. It basically, each one of those pillars, if you break one, your house is gonna fall. Your love is gonna slowly die down. It's gonna end, it's gonna crumble soon. And if you keep on breaking those loyalties down, your house will crumble. So you need to make sure you have the structure made perfectly, and then you can have all the love you want, and that love will stay there. Because as I said, the more loyalty you show towards someone, it's like an act of doing something. Because you know what? Love is something you can just say to somebody. You can just tell them, oh, I love you and whatnot. And people are pretty good at deceiving love and basically making people believe that they actually love that person easily. But you can't fake loyalty. There's no way you can fake loyalty. Because you know why? Out of everything, loyalty is something that you cannot even just speak on. Loyalty is something you have to prove through actions. Loyalty is not something you can play with. It's either you're not loyal or you're loyal. Trust me, if loyalty is not there, and what I've mentioned with all those types of loyalty, your relationship is not going to work. And why do you wonder that, oh, do you think that people who've been so madly in love, why is it that their relationship didn't last? Because love is just a feeling. It's not something that is strong. It's not something that is secure. They didn't have loyalty to one another. They lied at one another. They didn't have each other's back. They allowed people to speak in their ear and let them say things about their partner. when their partner was at their lowest, they just left them high and dry because they fell in love with that person. They didn't have any type of loyalty and was able to be with that person and grind it out and through the hard times. They truly loved each other because there's no way you can say that's love. If someone leaves you for these type of things, all these structures of loyalty, you got to understand that. And some people are not going to listen. They're not going to realize that. They're going to think, oh, no, watch, love. Those same people that just chase love and not actually put in the work of loyalty in a relationship and actually care a lot about loyalty, they're going to be in the same cycle of trying to find love, hopeless love. Because guess what? When, as I said, the person that they fell in love with and they just had love for, if that person becomes someone else, they're going to move on to someone else. And it's just going to be a repeated cycle because they will never truly have a secure relationship because they are not secure in loyalty at all. It's simple as that. It's 1 + 1 = 2. You have to understand love is bullshit. Those people who believe that love is the main thing and is the reason for a relationship to work, they're liars. They're deceiving you. It's the same people that they don't really feel happy in the relationship, but the guy or the girl is perfect. They do what a good woman is supposed to do or a good man does, but they're not happy because that feeling isn't really there anymore that they once had. They're not secure with themselves because they don't have good characteristics and loyalty to themselves, nor will they ever have loyalty for other people because they couldn't even fix themselves. So what makes you think that they will be able to do it for someone else? They didn't have structure. And that's why relationships end so frequently in this generation, especially, and as generations will come, because loyalty is so scarce now. It's so fake too. It goes with even with your friends, people that work with one another. But the reason why I talked about relationship because people put so much love into a relationship, and that's why I want to say that no, loyalty is going to beat that anytime. Loyalty has to do with everyone else too, your friends, your family, the people you work with and everything. Yes, loyalty, the same structures apply with those people, but the most is in relationships because that's what's going to obviously is going to have to grow for, you would want to grow forever, and you're going to be with that person a lot more than everyone else in your life. So understand, you need to first evaluate your relationship if you do not have the structures of loyalty. If you believe that, oh, you're going to run on just love, you're going to run out of that juice. Versus loyalty is, if you have true loyalty, it's forever lasting because that defines you as a person, a good person. So make sure you reevaluate your relationship if you never thought about it this way, if you never saw in this type of viewpoint. Loyalty is what you want, not love. You shouldn't give a damn about love because love will follow. Love will follow. Love will come. But if you try to chase just love, you'll never be satisfied, nor will you ever get it, nor the right type of love. Just know that.